At the beginning of the story, a meteorite deviates from its path and hurtles toward Earth at an incredible speed. Meanwhile, we see Mehdi and his younger brother, Jiao, traveling with their company staff. Their boss happily announces, "In light of our company's growth, everyone's salary has been increased by 10%. Hearing this, the group celebrates joyfully. But their happiness quickly turns to terror when they see a massive tsunami approaching. A large ship, swept away by the powerful waves, nearly crashes into their underwater bus. Thankfully, the driver manages to steer the bus out to sea just in time. The enormous waves then carry the bus all the way to a deserted island. After the horrific incident, everyone is severely injured and calls out for help, but there's no one else on the island. They have no choice but to spend the night there. The next morning, the group asks their driver, Deke, to contact the company and arrange for a rescue. But when Deke tries to reach them, he discovers there's no signal at all. One of the survivors then suggests that maybe the scientists' predictions have come true. The meteorite they warned about must have hit Earth, which caused the tsunami. That night, the group shivers in the cold, trying to survive until morning. The next day, Deke takes a few people into the forest to search for food. Meanwhile, the rest of the group tries to build a makeshift satellite using wood and paper to communicate with the outside world, but their effort fails miserably. Suddenly, an explosion rocks the bus. It turns out Jiao had been asked by his boss to repair it, but something went wrong, and it blew up. Moments later, Deke returns with food, and the starving group rushes at it like wild animals. Some, however, refuse to eat the fruits, complaining, "We can't eat this food. Bring us something better." Deke loses his temper and snaps. "What do you think? Your father owns a hotel in this jungle? If you don't want to eat this, go find your own food." A few people side with him. Angry and frustrated, Deke storms off into a nearby cave, and the others follow. As night falls, they light a fire and sit together. Mehdi tries to talk to a girl named Sina, but she ignores him. Later, the group decides that Deke will take charge and lead them for survival. The following morning, Deke gathers everyone and explains that, to survive on this island, they must learn to collect water, cook, and hunt. He divides the group into 2 teams and sends them into the jungle to find supplies. Mehdi ignores Deke's advice and chooses to survive on his own for several days. Eventually, Mehdi returns to the cave and tells everyone that he has learned how to live on this silent island. Deke praises him for his effort, but those who haven't learned are punished with sticks. Sina, who also fails to adapt, is beaten as well. Seeing this, Mehdi becomes furious. He's in love with her. But before he can intervene, Deke overpowers him and hangs him from a tree as punishment. Later that night, Jiao sneaks out to free his older brother. The next day, the two plan to escape the island, but Sina tries to stop them. Mehdi shows her one of his lottery tickets and says, "I think I've won 7 lakh rupees from this." He becomes emotional and tries to kiss Sina, but she pulls away. Disappointed, he leaves, telling her, "If I survive, I'll come back for you." Mehdi and Jiao then set off, but after going a short distance, they spot a dead bear floating in the sea. They try to use it as a raft, but their hope is short-lived. The bear begins to sink, forcing them to return to the island. When they get back, Deke punishes them for running away. Meanwhile, Sina tells everyone that Mehdi has won 7 lakh rupees in the lottery. Jiao reminds his brother, "You promised that if you win, we'll split the money equally." But Mehdi, now filled with anger, pushes him away and walks off. Days pass, and the group begins to lose hope of ever being rescued. One of them, Jean, becomes emotional when he looks at a picture of his daughter in his wallet. Realizing that money is now useless, he throws it away. By this point, it's been 21 days since they were stranded, and Deke has grown cruel. He forbids them from resting or talking during work. Mehdi and Jean refuse to follow his harsh orders, so Deke sends them to catch fish for everyone. While fishing, Mehdi and Jean grow close and share their frustrations. Jean tells him, "I understand how you feel. I'm forming a team to get off this island. Will you join me?" Mehdi agrees. That night, Jean gathers everyone and says, "We don't have to live like animals, climbing trees for food. If we are the last people on Earth, we must fight to rebuild humanity." His words inspire everyone, and they form 2 groups. Jin's team, with Mehdi and Jiao, and Deke's team, which includes Sina and the rest. Jin's group leaves the cave and discovers an old, wrecked cruise ship nearby. Inside, they find everything they need to survive. Meanwhile, Deke's team continues searching for food in the jungle. Unable to bear seeing Sina hungry, Mehdi secretly places fish in a basket for her. She refuses to eat it at first, but Mehdi convinces her, saying, "I also have some soap you can use." Hearing this, Sina finally eats. Later, Mehdi takes her to the ship, helps her wash her hair, and tells her, "If you want, you can stay with us here on the ship." Sina ignores his offer and changes the subject. Moments later, Jean arrives and angrily sends her away. Sina goes back to Deke's group and tells them about the ship. Soon, Deke and his team arrive there, where Jean tells everyone that they must stay united to survive. He introduces a system where they use cash cards as currency to buy food and supplies. Most of the team agrees with Jin's leadership, but Deke refuses to follow his rules and leaves with his people. Mehdi also confronts Jean, saying, "Why are you talking about staying here? We need to find a way off this island." Mehdi eventually realizes that Jean was using him and his brother for his own gain. Furious, Mehdi and Jiao leave Jin's team and disappear into the jungle. It's been 60 days since they've been stranded on the island. We see the two brothers, who have set up a small camp inside a broken helicopter. With only 29 days left before Mehdi's lottery ticket expires, Mehdi becomes increasingly anxious. They're also struggling to catch fish, so the brothers decide to return to the ship. When they arrive, they discover that Jean has started a trading business, turning playing cards into money. Some members of Deke's team have also joined him, all happily accepting Jean as their leader. Seeing this, Mehdi asks Jean to borrow a fishing net, but Jean mocks him and orders his men to beat up the brothers before sending them back into the jungle. Feeling helpless, Sina secretly brings them fish. But Mehdi becomes disheartened when he learns that even Sina follows Jin's rules. He refuses to take the fish, which angers her, and she leaves. After she's gone, Mehdi throws the fish away. By now, they've been stranded for 90 days. Mehdi grows sad, thinking his lottery ticket has expired and he can no longer claim the money. One day, while Mehdi and Jiao are sitting together, it suddenly starts raining fish. They realize a storm is causing the fish to fall from the sky. Mehdi smiles and says, "These fish are my lottery." They eat until they're full and hang the remaining fish on trees to dry. Then Mehdi gets a brilliant idea. He says, "We'll trade fish for survival supplies." The plan works, and soon they divide the dried fish among everyone. Later, Mehdi goes to a cave where Sina is bathing. He flirts with her, but then realizes it's actually her friend inside. She thanks him and leaves, while Sina watches from above, laughing. Meanwhile, Jiao suggests to Deke, "Why don't you ask Jean for a fishing net?" When Deke does, Jean agrees, but only if they pay him twice the amount of fish. Enraged, Deke attacks Jean, and a massive fight breaks out between the groups. Mehdi and Jiao watch, amused. That night, Mehdi uses the ship's microphone to announce that they must locate the remaining piece of land. Jean mocks him, saying no such land exists. Mehdi then shows them that by fixing a certain machine, they might actually escape the island. His words restore everyone's hope, and he instructs them to keep investigating and monitor the weather for changes. Meanwhile, Jiao manages to restore power, and everyone begins dancing with joy. They praise the brothers for their efforts. Suddenly, a gunshot echoes. Mehdi says, "I've heard this sound before. It happens once every 12 days. They climb a mountain to investigate and spot a distant ship. Deke shouts that a rescue vessel has finally come for them. However, Mehdi and Jiao aren't happy. They want to stay in control and keep this a secret. They tell everyone that Deke has gone mad and to ignore him. Deke keeps shouting that a rescue ship has arrived, but no one believes him. Eventually, they lock him in a refrigerator. Jiao even sets a new rule. No one is allowed to go up the mountain at night. Meanwhile, Sina also doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay on the island with Mehdi. Seeing Deke suffering, Mehdi begins to feel guilty. Later, Jiao offers Jean a deal to trade a card for a quarter, but Jean refuses. It's revealed that Jean has been using these trades to gain control over others. Jiao then shows Jean a video of his daughter and threatens to delete it. Fearing for his family, Jean transfers all his property and company to Jiao, believing the outside world has ended. Afterward, Jiao reveals his true plan. He intends to steal the fishing net and the boat's engine so everyone else remains stranded, while only he and Mehdi escape to live a luxurious life in the city. Hearing this, Mehdi is shocked. Soon after, some people capture Mehdi and take him to the beach, where a crowd is gathered. Sina surprises him by proposing marriage. Mehdi's dream comes true, yet he feels uneasy. During the celebration, he suddenly yells, "This is all a lie, a deception." He tells everyone that Deke was right, there was a ship nearby, but now Deke has gone insane. No one believes him, and they call Mehdi crazy too. Sina, heartbroken and thinking Mehdi only pretended to love her, tells him that Jin's property now belongs to them and that they should return. Deke overhears their conversation and attacks Mehdi. Mehdi convinces him to join their plan, to get everyone drunk on the night the rescue ship arrives, so they can escape unnoticed. However, Deke secretly sabotages the ship by breaking the fuel pipe, intending to set it on fire, but his lighter doesn't work. Mehdi then lights a wooden torch, planning to start a fire to signal the rescue team. Jiao stops him, and during their struggle, the torch falls near Sina. Mehdi tells her to trust him and throw it. She does, but it lands in the water. Just then, Gene comes out of his cabin, smoking a cigarette. Maddie quickly electrocutes him, causing his cigarette to drop, and the ship catches fire. Maddie throws the book, containing Jin's property transfer, to burn in the flames. Seeing this, Jiao goes insane. Everyone turns against Maddie, chasing him furiously. He runs up a hill but slips and falls. From there, he sees the rescue ship approaching and smiles, thinking of Sina. The next morning, Maddie wakes up on the beach, searching for the others. Everyone has already left, except Sina. She tells him that the rest boarded the ship, but she stayed behind. "What would I do without you?" "We'll wait for the next ship," she says softly. The two share a quiet moment together, getting a few more days on the island they once hated. And that's how the story ends. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.